Hey, coming up, we'll be talking with Shirley Muldowney, the great champion, the first woman to really plow through the barriers, and a woman who had a lot of trouble on and off the track.
I can remember when I used to come, the only thing that was available to me, for creature comforts was an outhouse. And there used to be 100 guys standing out, and when I'd come out of that outhouse at Columbus with cameras, that's, that used to hurt. And I fought it for years about, hey, let's step up and get, real restaurants, food that's edible. And I went after stuff like that, and that's how I made enemies. They hated me. They hated listening to a woman. Tell them the way it should be.
Over 40 years ago, Shirley Muldowney became the first woman to earn her license in an NHRA professional class. This Top Fuel legend wasn't timid then, and she sure isn't shy about sharing her opinions now. Shirley Muldowney seized her first NHRA World Championship in 1977. 2 more followed, but her success wasn't easy. And her struggle to compete in the racing world is legendary. We caught up with Shirley Muldowney and asked about her history, her rivalries, and her opinion on the women who followed her down the drag strip.
All I can say about all the things that were, directed to me because I was a lady driver, but it was more so because I was a lady driver that kicked their tails. The more they directed at me, the better I got in the car. So little did they know they were creating the monster.
The tree goes green, they're off together. It's Shirley Muldowney pulling away, and Shirley Muldowney becomes the first woman in history to win Top Fuel Eliminator.
Long time, my friend. I knew that eventually ladies would come along and fit in, find a slot. It would be easier for them because the hard work was already done. The cars are pretty much, I think, I like to use the word easy, so I'll use the word easier to drive than they were. I don't think the ladies of today could really excel in what we had to available to us back in the early days. And I kind of say that with a little bit of a twinge of, let's step up and show someone that you really earned it. The honest to goodness, I hate you and you hate me was Garlitz and Shirley. He signed for my license in '73. He thought, I'm sure in his mind, that this isn't going anywhere. He did it for the ink, for the exposure of being part of what was happening that day. Well, it came back to bite him because I think 2 weeks later, I put him on the trailer like 4 times at the Olympics of drag racing during qualifying and eliminations, and he was furious. He was furious with me. Hated me. That's the way it should be. And this love fest at the end of the racetrack, and I love you, and everybody's great, and everybody touts everybody else's sponsor. I want to say, save it, please. Go, pull it to the starting line, and do what you're there for. Everybody loves everybody. Well, they don't. They don't love each other. They'll cut your throat in a minute if it means, who goes over that finish line first. That is racing.
Well, and I can tell you, back in the day, she had to be that tough. They call her tough, but she had to be. I can remember a time when my dad, we match raced her in Epping, New Hampshire in 1971. She beat my dad. My dad was so mad. 2 weeks later, we raced her in Saginaw, Michigan. He blew the engine up trying to beat her, and he hardly hurt any parts back in the day.
Oh, she is a legend in the sport, no question.